Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Greetings from Koh Samui. In this video, I'm coming to you from my outdoor patio at my house. As you can see behind me, it's a little bit cloudy today, but the weather has been actually quite nice lately. It's about, I think, around 28 degrees Celsius right now. Wet winter time in Thailand, if there is a winter in Thailand, which technically there isn't. But this time of the year, it's actually quite cool in December, and it's still rainy season right now. We were having a lot of flooding for about a week. I don't know if you guys saw the videos, but yeah, it was everywhere, right? People were posting about the flooding in Koh Samui, and Koh as well was very flooded. Even just outside my house, there's an area that floods. So basically the entire road turned into a river, and I had to drive through like almost 6 inches of water on the motorbike to get into town. So, it's kind of interesting. Probably better off having a jet ski at that point, right? But, yeah, we made it work, and luckily now the flooding has gone way down. But for a little while there, like last week or the week before, I think, it was just nonstop raining for about 48, 72 hours, especially in Koh Tao. Koh Tao got it even worse because they have, poorer infrastructure over there. It's not very good drainage on the island. And I saw some videos from Koh Tao where it's just like completely flooded out. I guess I can leave a video in here to show you what it looked like, but I probably won't. But yeah, luckily now it's fine, and we haven't been getting any rain for about a week now. It's just slight drizzles, and today it might rain, although maybe not. It's really hard to tell from one day to the next, and you usually can't trust the weather forecast either. So if you're looking to come over to Samui and you're thinking about coming here, but you look at the weather forecast and it says it's going to be raining all week, just know that you can't really trust it on a day-to-day basis. Samui is a large enough island where it has its own weather system, and it can be very unpredictable. So it could be raining in Lipanoi in the south, and it can be perfectly sunny over here in Lamai, or raining in Chaweng and perfectly sunny in Mae Nam. It's very hard to predict, right? But I would recommend, if you're planning on a trip to Samui, just wait until after mid-January. That's when rainy season's over. And then after that, January, February, March, and April, those are some of the highest peak season. So March and April is basically peak season in Samui. And it's also one of the hottest, those are the hottest 2 months of the year. So, Songkran is on April 15th, I believe. And one of the reasons that they do this water festival, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Songkran or not, but basically it's a water festival that takes over the entire country. And everybody's outside spraying each other with guns. They turn into little kids again, and it's definitely a fun time. In Samui, we only have 1 day of Songkran, but in Bangkok and Pattaya and Phuket, many other places, it goes on for like a week or 2 weeks. So this becomes one of the most busiest times of the entire year during Songkran. And yeah, especially even here in the island, it's packed full of people. So yeah, probably around April 15th is not the best time to visit, but anywhere between like January 15th up until early April is a good time. And then also up until October. So October to mid-December and early January, that's rainy season. But for the most part, the entire year, it's beautiful, sunny, warm weather, tropical paradise, right? So yeah, I mean, it just depends on when you want to visit. Let me know in the comments below if you're planning a trip to Samui. I'd be happy to send you over. I actually have a blog post on my website just going through like month by month, what are the best times to visit Samui based on weather conditions. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, year round, it's sunny, beautiful weather. It was really rainy recently, like I mentioned earlier, and it completely flooded out Lamai Beach. It was looking really bad. The river was practically up to the bridge, so it was almost overflowing on the bridge. And I think this is probably one of the worst rainy seasons we've had in quite some time. Last year, if I remember correctly, it was not very bad at all. We didn't get much rain at all. And I think I was actually gone for part of the rainy season last year. But yeah, Samui pretty much ticks all the boxes for me. There's no natural disasters here in recorded history other than some flooding here and there, but there's never been a tsunami because we're in the protected Gulf of Thailand. So for whatever reason, I guess we never get tsunamis here, unlike Phuket. Phuket's on the Andaman side of Thailand, so they get a lot of natural disasters, and it's terrible flooding throughout the year. But here at Samui, it's, there's nothing much to complain about in terms of weather. And we also have an international airport here, Samui International Airport. They've Bangkok Airways. You can get direct flights between Bangkok and Samui, although the flights do tend to be prohibitively expensive, the most expensive flights in the entire country, because Bangkok Airways has a monopoly, so they can basically charge whatever they want. But if you want to save on flights, you can either get the Samui resident card. That's mostly for like long-term residents. If you have a business set up here, if you work for a company in Samui, or if you own property, let's say you've bought a villa over here, then you can get the Samui resident card. Also, if you're a monk, but for the vast majority of the people watching this YouTube channel, probably you're not going to qualify as a monk, right? But yeah, you could get that Samui resident card if you qualify for any of those, and then you save 30 to 40% on flights. Now, keep in mind, I've been here 4 years now, and I still don't have the Samui resident card because the previous company I worked for didn't have an office. They didn't have their headquarters wasn't in Samui, it was in Bangkok. So that was the last remaining thing that I needed to get the Samui resident card. All the paperwork was taken care of. I had the work permit, and unfortunately, I still wasn't able to get that resident card because they didn't have a base in Samui. But once I get the DTV visa, which I'm actually planning, I'm going to go to Kuala Lumpur next month. I've already filled out the application. I got a sponsorship letter for my former boss at the company where I used to work, and I can use that in place of the proof of funds. So it's either or. Either you show the proof of funds or you have the sponsorship letter. Luckily, I have the sponsorship letter. And then I just need one more document. I'll upload that. It's basically proof of residence. And then I have to pay the fee, which is 1,200 Malaysian ringgit, which I think is 12,000 baht. And that's about $350 and non-refundable. So even if I don't get accepted, if I don't get the appointment at the embassy, they keep the money, which is a little risky. That's definitely a downside, but it's not a ton of money. And, I really just want to get this DTV because it's a 5-year visa and it's 6 months at a time. So basically you will have to leave. It sounds like leave the country every 6 months. Maybe they'll change that at some point. I'm not entirely sure. They're always changing the visa rules over here, so it's possible. But even if I do have to leave like every 6 months, it's not the end of the world. I can just do some traveling, go to Vietnam, maybe go to Malaysia, even China. I guess I could go to China, back to the US, which is kind of a last ditch thing that I want to do. But it would be nice to see family again. I haven't seen my family for 5 years now, and I'm still trying to get them over here to Thailand. But unfortunately, open invitation for realistically about 2 years because there was that thing called the pandemic. So they couldn't travel during that time. But yeah, probably next year, my parents, probably just my mom. I don't know if my dad will make it over here or not, but they're going to come over because I'm getting married next year. Most likely, hopefully once I get my financial situation sorted out, because weddings aren't cheap. But yeah, I'll get married and then my family will come over, which will be great. I haven't seen them for such a long time. And I'm really looking forward to showing them around this beautiful island that I call home, and possibly going up to Krabi, maybe Phuket, Bangkok, Chiang Mai. But for the most part, just stay here in Samui, right? And yeah, going back to what I was talking about earlier, there's an international airport, so you can easily fly in from pretty much anywhere in Thailand. Or, chances are if you're flying international, you're going to have to fly into Bangkok or Phuket at airport, and then just get a skipper over to Samui. Not a skipper. They have 737s, I believe. So big planes that come in. And I think they have they've recently opened it up to around 40 flights per day. I could be wrong about that. Probably lower than that, 20, 25, something like that. They did have to up the number of flights that were coming onto the island for a while because there's so many people coming here during high season. And to be honest, I guess I'm probably not helping with that all that much by constantly promoting Samui, not only here on YouTube, but also on my Facebook page, even more so on my Facebook page, where I'm reaching about, getting like 8 million views per month. But, I have been starting to get some hateful comments recently from viewers and subscribers saying, oh, you're ruining Thailand. You're raising the prices over there. And I guess I see where they're coming from to a certain extent, but at the same time, I'm not the only one doing this. There's tons of other vloggers, YouTubers over here in Thailand, and they have much larger channels than I do. So, and that's good for the economy, right? It's helping the Thai people. Thailand is very, very dependent on tourism. I say it's maybe like 20 to 30% of the economy, possibly even more. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I know tourism is a very large percentage of the GDP over here. So, in my personal opinion, like anything that I can do to help to get tourists over to Thailand is a net positive for the economy, right? And I have every intention of continuing to grow this YouTube channel, to get people over to Thailand, specifically Samui. This is my home base. And if anyone's interested in my coaching program, by the way, as well, I also have a 6-week coaching program, and I'll leave a link. There's a link in the description where you can check that out. You can check out the prices. I'm not going to mention it in this video. You can just check it out on the website. It's all laid out on my landing page. You just go to the website, click the button, and then you can check out everything that's included in the coaching program. I'm looking to potentially bring on 2 or 3 more clients next year, early, Q1 of next year. So that sounds interesting to you. Maybe you want to launch a YouTube channel. Maybe you want to start making money on Facebook, monetizing your content. Maybe you want to launch an online business, something that you can do from anywhere, or just make a home base here in Thailand. Let me know. I'm a wealth of knowledge. I've been living over here for 5 years now, and I'm always meeting up with people in Samui as well, because I get a lot of my subscribers reaching out to me like, hey, I'd love to meet up for a coffee. I'm always open to meet up for coffees with people as well. And free of charge. I don't charge anything for this. It's just get conversation, right? Get to know each other. And I'm just, I'm always happy when people reach out to me on YouTube. It's a great way to kind of build my network and meet new, interesting people that are, coming over to Thailand and just want a better quality of life and lower cost of living. That's one of the reasons why I came over here. It's one of the reasons that I stay here. And also friendly people, delicious food, beautiful beaches, lots of amazing places to travel around Thailand. You don't even have to leave Thailand, right? You can easily access Vietnam, Philippines, which I've been fortunate enough to visit this year. So I went to Vietnam and Philippines, and then I just decided, probably not the place that I want to live, especially the Philippines. So, but it was good to go there to learn that lesson. And that gives me even more confidence that I'm in the right place, here in Thailand. And, Koh Samui is an excellent home base. There's really nothing all that bad that I can say about the island, except that it's becoming very, very developed, right? There's always new construction projects. They're building villas all over the place. Always new restaurants, coffee shops going up. But at the same time, like, it's getting more developed, but at the same time, that's good for the economy, right? The Thai people are getting richer, and I guess you could say it's a money pit, or, they're just cashing in and they're selling the land and building projects and all these sorts of things. But it's their decision, right? If they want to sell the land and cash out, that, they've been sitting on the land for decades now, then that's entirely their decision. And who am I to judge someone for their financial decisions, right? And, why wouldn't you sell the land, to be honest? Like, Samui is definitely in demand right now, and you can actually come over here and buy land. In fact, I was talking to my friend who's Russian. He's just recently moved back to the US. He now works at Apple Computer. He's making a really, really good salary over there, living in Cupertino, California. But still, just barely making ends meet, as far as I can tell. I don't know. He's also got a family and everything. So he has one month of remote work policy at Apple. So he decided to come back to Samui. He's been living here for like 10 years now. And I met up with him for lunch a little bit earlier. It was great to see him again. But unfortunately, he's got to go back in a few days to continue working at Apple, which is awesome. Like, he's a very talented software engineer, and he deserves all the success, right? He's got his U.S. passport. He's got his green card over there. And if only he could just work remotely full time from a place like Samui, that would be even better. Getting a U.S. salary, really, really, really high salary, living over here in Thailand. You can live like a king over here for $15,000, $20,000 a month, right? And I also recently connected with a guy from Canada. I met him at Jungle Club a couple days ago, actually yesterday, and he's making like $100,000 a month. It's an insane amount of money. I'm not going to mention the company that it works for, but now he's just trying to figure out what to do with all this money, right? He's considering maybe buying a house over here. He's younger than me, I believe. He's like maybe 35 years old, and he's just looking for a place to park the money, right? So, I mean, but to be perfectly honest, you don't need to be making a ton of money to have a really good lifestyle over here. In fact, the previous video that I made, I think a couple days ago, is why it's easier to retire early in Thailand versus in the Western world. Simply because it's a much lower cost of living. You don't need to be making a shit ton of money over here. $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 a month is like the sweet spot. If you're making $3,000 a month from either a pension, or maybe you have an online business or a remote job, or even a YouTube channel, you can be doing really, really well over here on $3,000 a month. And you can also do really well on $1,000 a month, right? If you're living up in Chiang Mai, for example, you can find rentals up there for around $300 to $500 a month. And then you just have to take care of your transportation, food, going out for nightlife, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's entirely going to depend on where you're living in Thailand. But I mean, just look at my view behind me right now. This is where I live on the island. I've just moved into a brand new house about going on 2 months now. And it's amazing. I spend less than $600 a month on rent for a brand new house. They just finished construction. And when I found this place, I moved in pretty much immediately because I wasn't able to find anything else this nice in Lamai. And luckily, my retired friend showed me this place. He was driving around looking for houses for rent, and I actually invited him over to the house shortly after I moved in. Unfortunately, he had to go back to Utah. He's from Utah in the U.S. And he went back, and I moved into the house here, the brand new house that he showed me here in Samui. So if I hadn't connected with that guy, his name was Jim, chances are I wouldn't have even found this place. But just goes to show, if you are outgoing and you're willing to talk to people and meet new people, you never know who you're going to meet. And like tomorrow, for example, I'm going to be going over to do a villa tour at the Zur Samui. I recently connected with this guy. He's been watching my YouTube channel for years, and he bought a penthouse villa, $800,000 roughly, that he's looking to sell. So I'm going to go over there tomorrow. I'm going to make a full villa tour of the place. Stay tuned on this channel. I'm going to be posting that real soon. Probably, what is today? Sunday? So sometime next week, once I finish editing the video and everything, I'll put that up on the channel. I think it's going to do really, really well. And I'm also going to interview him a little bit as well, because he has a really interesting story. He's originally from Poland. He escaped communist Poland back in, I want to say, the 60s. And now, I think he left with like $10 to his name. And now he's bought a virtually $1 million villa over here in Samui. So just goes to show what you can accomplish if you're persistent and never give up, and you just put in the work, right? That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And he seems to be really happy with the place, but he wants to sell it for whatever reason. I'm still not entirely sure, because it's got like one of the most incredible views that you've ever seen, looking out over Koh Phangan, which is the next island over from Samui. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, he wants to sell it, and I'm going to make a YouTube video. Hopefully I can help him sell the place, and then potentially I can get a commission for helping him sell the villa. That would be That would be amazing, because that would be like $30,000 right there just in commissions. So something I'm looking to get into potentially next year is more real estate. I don't know if I can legally do that on the DTV visa, unfortunately, but we'll figure it out. You know, there's always, if there's a will, there's a way, as they say. So yeah, I guess I could continue going on and on, in this video, but I'm going on about 22 minutes now, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. But yeah, if you have any questions whatsoever, if you're planning a trip over to Samui, just let me know in the comments below. And you can also check out my free newsletter. If you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get enrolled into my email sequence, where I basically provide free value emails over about a month. So you're welcome to check that out. And then ultimately the goal with that newsletter is to upsell people to my coaching program, which is $1,500 for 6 weeks. So yeah, feel free to join that newsletter. You're welcome to. And the subscribers just continue growing. Just recently hit 10,000 subscribers on the channel, which is a milestone I've been trying to hit for like 5 years now. So just continuing to go up slowly but steadily. And I'm not going to give up. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and take care. Stay safe. Peace from Koh Samui. Till the next one. See ya.